Okay. Just to give a little background. So we've had about 13 different parliamentary sittings since 1951. And we have embarked on a very large, massive project to actually get all of these parliamentarians onto Wikidata and Wikipedia, and possibly get some new images for Commons, Wikimedia Commons. So in the past year, we have successfully updated information about the seventh Parliament of the Fourth Republic of Ghana, and then the sixth Parliament of the Fourth Republic of Ghana. So we've updated 2 parliamentary sittings, beginning from the very latest, so the current Parliament and then the previous Parliament. Now, we relied on 2 main sources when we are gathering the information to update these pages. We're looking at Parliament of Ghana website, and then we're also looking at another website that is mpsghana.com, I think, yeah. And they have information about just 2 parliamentary sittings, the current one and then the very previous one. Unfortunately, they are not able to help us any further because they claim they don't have resources. That means we have to actually go in search for this information and add them to Wikidata and then Wikipedia. And that is why we came up with this Wikidata-in-Residence thing, so that people are going to be able to go and then find this information. And we can use that information to update the pages on Wikidata and Wikipedia. Yeah, so what we are going to do is that for all of the, no, not for all of them, for the next 6 from the top, from the next 6 sittings, we are going to run contests, just like we did in the previous contest that we ran about the 6th Parliament of the Fourth Republic of Ghana. That means that that data has to be available somewhere so that participants of the contest can look at that page without having to go and search for it themselves. They just have to look at that page and then pick the information and then update the Wikipedia and then the Wikidata pages. So having said that, there are particular pages, there are particular data points that we need. If you participated in the last session, or if you didn't, I will go ahead and then show you the kind of information that we are going to use. I'm going to share my screen now. Window, yeah, share window. This window. Okay. So there's going to be a process. Let me show you this page. Okay, if you can see my screen, you see that we are done with the 7th Parliament of the Fourth Republic of Ghana, and we are done with the 6th Parliament of the Fourth Republic of Ghana. So the next contest is going to be the 5th Parliament of the Fourth Republic of Ghana. And for this particular contest, we would start this contest on the 1st, right? 1st of July until for 30 days. So 1st to 30th of July. The contest for the 5th. So whoever is going to work on that particular session, the information has to be ready quite quickly. Other than that, the rest, I think we have about a month, I guess. A month should be fine. to actually complete this, but I'm not sure. You can confirm from the study later. So what you would need for each of them in the contract that you are going to get, there are going to be links to there's going to be a link to a spreadsheet. So the spreadsheet is going to be pre-prepared for you with the columns, the topmost columns will be there. So all you have to do is just add the information. And then once that information is added, first of all, let's go through if there are any questions about the data points that we need. So for this particular session, the Fifth Parliament of the Fourth Republic of Ghana, we have 230 parliamentarians that made up that session. So that means this is just a term, member of the Fifth Parliament. So there's really nothing to be done with this particular column. This is the start time that the Parliament started. So majority of the cases is going to be the same for all of them, okay? Except that some would have become MPs through by elections, and by elections means when, for example, an MP abdicates their position or they die or they are impeached or for whatever reason, that that constituency needs an MP. So an election would be held and then people are going to contest. So that necessarily wouldn't have been at the start of the parliament. So there are special cases where a by-election, the date for the by-election would different from the start of the parliament here. So for majority of them, it's just going to be the same. But those that have came through the process of by-elections, you have to put the right date there. So we have the elected in, and this also is going to be the same, I guess. Yeah. No, sorry. It's not going to be the same because again, we have by-elections. So most of them would have come through the general elections that we have in Ghana at the end of December every year. So that's most likely would be this and that the same thing. But those that came through by-elections, they wouldn't come to the general election. So you can put something like what do you put here? Let's say what do you do? Okay, just put something there to indicate that this person didn't come through through the general elections. Okay, you can say through by-elections or something. Then the end time is when the parliament ended. And usually that's going to be the same date for all of the parliamentarians, which is normally 7th. So if elections take place in December, the parliament dissolves on the 7th January of the coming year. Okay, so the 2012 elections, the parliament ended in 2013, January 7th. And we needed to have the data consistent in such a way that we have the year, the month, and the day. And also, some wouldn't have ended their term and probably resigned or, some would have died or something. So their end time would be different, but for majority of the case, it's going to be the same. Then the end course, almost all of them, again, would have that term would have ended because the parliament got dissolved on the 7th of January. But for those cases where they died or they resigned, you have to put it there to indicate that they didn't complete their term, but then it ended because of something else. Then the person, the particular MP, their name, and then link to their Wikipedia article, if it exists. So I'm just going to move the link here and then relink it again for you to see. Okay, so if the name is here and you're going to link it to the Wikipedia article, you just highlight it and then you click on the insert link and then you link it. Do this. Got the link. Okay, I have the link. Then you link it. You just copy the link to the Wikipedia article, and then you link it here. Insert link. So we know whom we are dealing with and if they have a Wikipedia article already or not. Then the party, this is quite obvious. NDC, NPP, PNC, blah, blah, blah. And try and put an abbreviation here. Again, there's going to be a template that will come with this. So there are so many parties, like from 1951. The common ones are NDC, NPP, which we know. But there are some that most of us really don't know. And for that, you'd have to put the abbreviation there so that people can get what it means. A lot has changed in Ghana in the past 50 years, and so many parties have come and gone. So the abbreviation has to be there to guide whoever is looking at the data. Then the constituency is there. Remember, we are looking at historical parliamentarians. So these are not going to be the new constituencies that we have. These are going to be the original constituencies that they actually won in their bid for the to become the MP. Then the region, of course, these are historical MPs. So the regions are the old regions that they won actually, and not the new ones. Then the agenda, obvious. Occupation. Occupation is quite obvious, but not so obvious because some have more than one occupation. So you separate each occupation by a comma and then one space. So this person is a lawyer and a university teacher. Then if they have an image on Commons, Wikimedia Commons, you just link to the image so that we can add that link to Wikidata later. So you search and see if they have an image on Commons, you add the image, you add a link to the image. If they don't have an image on Commons, that would be an opportunity for you to actually try and see if you can find an image. But I know this is something that mostly wouldn't be available. So if it's there, upload it to Commons and then add a link. If it's not there, yeah, it's not there. If it's not there, it's not there. Then we have educated art.
Oh, sorry. Mostly, how do they search for the image on Commons?
So if you go to, first of all, I would search on Wikipedia first. I would search on the article, see if they have a Wikipedia article, there's most likely going to be an image on, linked from Commons onto Wikipedia. Otherwise, you have to search for it on Wikimedia Commons. So you could search Haruna Idrisu, the category called Haruna Idrisu. Just one page, one image. So I go to the image and then I copy the link and I add the link. I just paste the link there. Okay. Then the educated art, the academic degree, and then the academic major. These are so this is one statement with two qualifiers. So in this particular case, you can see that we have the person's latest education is the Ghana School of Law, and then the previous school they went to was the University of Ghana. So the Bachelor's of Law, that is the academic degree, and then the Bachelor's of Arts, which is the degree they got from the University of Ghana. So what you do is that for whoever is working on it not to become confused, you shouldn't put the Bachelor of Arts before the Bachelor of Laws. I mean, if you put, so the first school here is the Ghana School of Law. So obviously the first academic degree at the very top should be the Bachelor's of Law. So if you mix them up, you you would cause confusion for whoever is going to work on the data. So let's leave them in that order. The first one, the first school they went to, then the academic degree, that means that should be the first one on top. Then the academic major should be the law, and then sociology for the Bachelor's of Arts. So if they went to another school previously, let's say presec, sorry, let's say KNUST, and they did finance there, and then this is how it's going to be arranged. KNUST is the third. It means the finance will be the third, and then the finance as a degree, and then the finance as a major would be the third one. So let's keep that in mind. Then the religion, most likely the name would tell, but that is not a reliable indicator. But I'm sure I don't know how you figure that out, but let's see. In the course of the project, you can ping us, you can, comment on whatever data point is there, and someone can respond. For example, if you want to ping me, for example, to clarify something, you can just click on that particular cell, and then you click on comment, then you add my email address. This, then you start typing your message. Once you do that, so let me just do that and then assign it myself. Once I do that, the particular person whose email I just pinged gets an email notification, and then they would come and then take a look, and then a discussion can even ensue, and the issue can then be resolved through that. So you don't necessarily have to pick a phone and call someone. You can just ping someone directly. And that's just a need. I don't want to receive phone calls about this. Where are we? Yeah, date of birth too. Let's keep it at year, month, and day consistent. And then date of death. If they are dead, so the date would be there. If they are not dead, that means they are alive. So just put they're alive. Then the QID, the link to their Wikipedia, their Wikidata item. Now, I arranged it this way because it makes sense to me to follow. But that doesn't mean the same order of arrangement makes sense, makes better sense to you. You can rearrange them in any way that makes sense to you. By the end of the day, we should have all of the cells intact. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That is how many cells? That is 20 cells. 20 cells in total. You can reorganize the cells and put the start time here, put the party at the first one, region at the second one, whatever. But we need those 20 total cells to be there at the end of the day. You get a template, like I said, in your contract. Then you can rearrange the columns however you want. I think this is pretty straightforward. Do I need to demonstrate with another example? Let's see. If anyone wants me to do another demonstration with another example, apart from Haruna Idris, just let us know in the chat in 5 seconds. Otherwise, I think it's pretty straightforward. Okay, so we can pick another. So let's go to the 5th parliament. Who are some of the longest serving parliamentarians?
Shahid Dua Jaho.
Dua Jaho, okay. Let's see.
Abang Bagan.
Okay, let's try one of them. Let's just try Do. Is it Do Ajaho or Ju Ajaho?
It's Do Ajaho. Do D-O-E.
So there's actually a Wikipedia page that has the members of the Fifth Parliament. I don't know why I didn't bookmark it. Fifth Parliament of Ghana, right? Let's go to Ghana Parliament. We find it. There is. Okay, this is the Fifth Parliament. So you can see the Fifth Parliament. The list is here. 2008. Let's pick this person, Edward Do Ajaho. Okay. So obviously, he's a member of the Fifth Parliament. He started in the same year. He was elected in 2008. We have very few by-election MPs. At the end time, yes, it dissolved in 2013. His term ended because Parliament dissolved. He didn't resign or he didn't die. Still alive, I guess. Oops, he was. He's still alive. He should still be alive, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, he's alive.
Thanks for that. I link it to this article. Party NDC. I know, but I just wanted to show. Where is it? Okay, National Democratic Congress, NDC. And whoever is looking at it knows what NDC means because there's an abbreviation that tells us what NDC means. Then his constituency in 2008 was, I think you can even find that in the, you'd find that information here. Aveno. The region. Let's see where Aveno is. It's in Volta region. Aveno, it's in the Volta region of Ghana. Well, Pharisee. He actually has a Wikidata item, I think. So I'm just going to go there. And by the way, if you are on a Wikipedia page of a person and you want to go to the Wikidata item, you can look down here. On the left side, you'd under the, is it the tools? Yes, under the tools, you'd find the Wikidata item. If it's not there, it will tell you, but if it's there, it will come. You are saying, I'm picking it from here because I installed a script that allows me to get basic information about who created the page, the edit count, the page views, the number of editors who edited it, the number of views, and the last time it was edited. And then I link to the Wikidata item plus the label, sorry, the description of the label on Wikidata, and then the class of the article. Okay. So yeah, I'm picking, what am I picking? I'm picking the occupation from here. Occupation is politician, barrister. Now, yeah, okay, that's fine. They have an image. Let's click on the image. The link to commons is here. And they are indicated at. Some of these repeat MPs, you would find all that you need on their Wikipedia, their Wikidata items. That's what makes it quite easy in some cases. University of Ghana. Okay, so since the edit is going to be made on the same person, if that information is already available on Wikidata, should we continue to add it, or should we just say it already exists so that people don't have too much burden on themselves?
I think it would be a good idea to state that all items have been included, so nobody have to waste their time on that. That will save us some time.
Okay, so you can say something that makes sense here. What do you say? Like, you can put whatever that makes sense for anyone who is reading it. Then academic degree is all there. The academic major too is also there. That's law. So if I were to do this, I would say Wikidata. Then here, and here, question. This is also available, but it's not difficult to type. Date of birth is there. There. Okay, this is also there.
Mostly this example they are using, there's an article already existing on Wikipedia and Wikidata. So for a case where there is no article about the person on Wikipedia or Wikidata, how do they go about it?
So if there is no article, for the person, so the whole point is to prepare information for people participating in the contest to be able to use. So if there's no linked article, you just leave it. You just say, how do I link this? Link. Okay. So if there's no Wikipedia article, it means there's not going to be a link.
I'm not talking about the link. I'm talking about the information. How do they get the information for that particular person?
Yes. So that is they have to search for it either at the library that we are going to give them the letters to be able to go and use their resources, the library resources there, or they go online. They have to look for that information. Okay.
Then another thing too is we initially said we're going to add references. Is that still something that we are going to do? Because I don't see any column for reference URL.
Yeah. So here in the first column, so for each of the cells, if reference is available to each, add it as a URL. So if probably their date of birth, you have it, and you want to add it, and you have a reference for it, so you add a reference as a URL here. So for example, if this is coming from page on Ghana Web, let's click on a random. I never accept this. You keep worrying me. BBC's like a random news item. Let's say that this link contains the date of birth of this person. So you add it as a URL by inserting a link so that someone can click and then go and see where that information is coming from.
So what I would suggest is for each Wikidata item that we'll be working on that doesn't have an article on Wikipedia, they should at least add 3 references so that we can verify, because anybody can just populate any information there, and we don't want to gather the wrong information for people to use. So if they add at least 3 references, we can verify before publishing this information for the contestants to use.
Okay, I think that's a great point. So add references to the Wikidata items, the Wikidata statements that could be controversial, like the date of birth. The party basically wouldn't be controversial. Occupation, perhaps. Wherever you're picking it from, if there's a URL, just please add it. It's not very difficult. Just click on the insert link and then you add the URL, then apply, so that people can verify that this is where you're picking the information from. If it's coming from a book, you could add a comment or a note, then add a comment with the details of the book, just in case we want to verify it. And add the details, then that should work. Or you can insert a note, which also give us more information. Or you can ping someone on a note. So, whichever you use is fine.
Sadat,
Mhm.
if you are
Hello,
working
Masni.
on a person whose political party is not there, would you have to add it to the abbreviated list down there?
The political party is not there. What do you mean by not there?
Neither NDC nor MPP nor PNC, probably.
Independent member?
Not independent. I'm not talking about just for this particular setting. Not
Ima,
in
can I help
certain.
you?
Okay, sure.
Yeah, what he's trying to say is you have put in the explanation for the abbreviations down there. So, and you said they should use the abbreviations. So, in a case where the political party's abbreviation hasn't been explained in what you've done there, should they add it?
Yes. They should. So basically, this abbreviation is meant to help. Assuming someone doesn't want to say NDC but wants to say National Democratic Congress, that is totally fine. But we put this abbreviation there because in case someone puts something there that someone is difficult to follow, so the abbreviation would help us know which party it is.
So, if it is a new party, they should write a full party there, not the abbreviation.
If you put the abbreviation there, like NDC, then try and put the name here too, so that we know what NDC means.
Okay.
So you can use any, but just put
I have a question.
something there. Go ahead.
Where you were putting about the book. Let's say if you got a book from the library.
Yeah.
What if you want to take a picture? Is it possible? Like maybe you might want to take a picture of the book that bears everything, so that you don't type anything over there. Is it possible? Let's say I got information from, let's say, a book called Things Fall Apart, and then maybe with everything is written on the cover. So can I take a picture and then insert it over there? Is it possible?
Well, the reason why a text might,
Do you get what I mean?
yes. So if I understand, if the information, you can just take a snapshot. But I think that's actually going to be more work. But anyway, if if the information is on a paper, and you can just take a snapshot, but that would be more work for those of us who are going to use tools to import it later. I mean, for the
Okay.
settings below the first six, because we are trying to, after the first six contest, we are going to import the rest using tools, and typing it is going to be another added work for whoever is going to look at it. So we trust that you are putting the right information there and the right reference. Or what do people think?
All right. It's clear. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. The text is okay.
Okay. So this person is date of death is alive, and the QID is here. Like this, yeah. Wait, when this happens. Okay. So this is what the fifth parliament is going to look like. And the person who is going to do the fourth parliament will get the same template and continue to work on it. Yeah, so we'll provide a spreadsheet as a link in your contract. Then, so yeah, that means the contracts are going to be customized for each and every one of you. And the links that you need, would be specific in the specific to you. So once this table is complete, all you have to do is just to copy it, Control C, copy everything. Again, your contract is going to contain a link to where we want you to paste this on to paste this on Wikipedia. So for this one, for example, I created one here. It's going to be here. Now you can paste this. This is CSV information. This is from a spreadsheet. So if you paste it as what do you call it, as a wiki text, it's not going to work. So you probably just want to save this first and create. And then you go to, oh, I forgot, this is a talk page. Because it's a talk page, you wouldn't get the visual editor here. So you could probably go to your sandbox, paste it in your sandbox. Now you are adding it to the talk page we are going to send you a link to the talk page in your contract letters. So this information is not going on the project page itself. The project page is meant for a bot to collate all of that information, verifying that it actually exists. So you have nothing to do with what is going to be appearing on the project page. We'll send you a link to the talk page where we want that spreadsheet information to come into. So I'm now just trying to get this spreadsheet onto that talk page. And how I do that, I go to my sandbox. And Sandbox allows you to edit official source. So you go edit, can simply I can just delete everything here, and then I paste this. It's quite large. I know it will freeze a bit. Okay. So once you save it in your sandbox, you don't have to use the sandbox. You can use whatever page that is, freely available to you, where you can use the visual editor. Publish. It's a lot of text. So now I have it prepared, just like it appears in the spreadsheet. Even with the links are still there. Oops, this didn't work. I don't know why, but you can check it out later. Now you copy the wiki markup, the text. You would get a lot of help with this to get stuck. So don't worry so much. Now you come back and then you add it because you have the markup has been converted ready for you. So it gets published. Okay, that is it. So that is the end of the task. So first of all, you fill this table in spreadsheet where you get a link. You also get a link to where you are going to present that information, and we will need both. So we are going to check this, and then we'll check this as well. Anything else? Let's see. Yeah, basically that is it. That's all that you have to do. Any more clarifications needed?
Hello, Master. Yeah, you earlier on you talked about
sorry, Harry, let me cut you in. Anybody has any questions, now is the time. I might not be able to meet you, like I mentioned, because of the rain and some restaurants are closed, so it will be very difficult to find a venue to meet you. So if you have any questions, please ask now.
Okay, so Masli, earlier on you talked about the constituencies that we are working with, the previous ones and not the new ones. I will need clarifications on that.
Yes, so I mentioned that because maybe I shouldn't have mentioned it because there's this thing on Wikipedia called there's a what do you call it? I don't know if anyone has read that essay. Or it's called Wikipedia. So this probably didn't come to your mind in the sense that I just mentioned something that is not going to cause a lot of confusion to people. But so basically, the idea of Wikipedia Beans is an essay someone wrote is that there's a woman who has who was sternly admonishing her child and told her that don't do this when I go out, don't pour water down or you slip and fall. And she concluded her warnings with, and don't stuff beans in your nose. And that was a new thing for the boy because he had never done that before and he didn't know what it is. So when his mom went out, he actually experimented and tried it out and ended up dying. So that's the story of the story of the beans. So what happens is that the new consistencies, someone might think that okay, now northern region contains savannah region, contains this region, it's been broken up into three, I guess. So the person might say, okay, so now instead of Tamale South now contains savannah contains something else. East contains something else. So just to avoid that confusion, this is not what. Forget about the new regions because they didn't even exist.
Okay.
So don't use information from the new regions at all. Yes, use the previous regions that they became MPs of.
Okay.
I don't know if that's to cause some confusion for someone else.
No, it's okay.
Mohammed.
Yes.
In the hopefully unlikely occasion where you'd be unable to find the person's date of birth or the person's religion, or even if the person is still alive or dead, what do we do? Maybe you've exhausted every available option.
Well, the answer is I don't know what you do. I don't know what you do, but try your best and let's figure this out. Yeah, I don't know what you do, but let's just all try our best as hard as we can.
Okay, sure.
So if you actually have a lot of time, you can run through this quickly in under 24 hours. I think it can be done under 24 hours, but I think 1 month, right? Depends. Is it 1 month, right? Yeah, 1 month makes sense for people to do like clean research.
We're using 2 weeks.
I think it's 2 weeks.
And
We have 2 weeks to 1st July.
The people here is 2 weeks enough because I'm thinking that 1 month is fine. Just that for the 5th, we would need this before the 2 weeks. So that one we would need like a more experienced person to handle the 5th. Then from the 5th below, those ones we don't need them as urgently as the 5th.
Hello, Mosley.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, Mosley.
Yes.
Please, if you don't get an answer for a question, can you move to the next question? Just as Ima said, because it seems your answer wasn't clear to me.
Okay. So if well, I don't have all the answers, just to be clear, but I'm just we're all thinking this through. So if I'm to do this, I would try and fill out all the cells that I can, first of all. Then after that, I begin to think about the cells that I don't have, and then keep working on them until the time runs out. Because it's obvious that some of them you won't get answers for them. So do what you can first, and then you can think of what you don't have later. Otherwise, if you want to say you want to move step by step, it might not work for you.
If you don't get the answer, can you, and you are done with the rest, can you publish it and then later go back and then do, if in case you get the answer later?
So if the spreadsheet, before you move your content from the spreadsheet to the wiki, you would need like one of the team leads to confirm that it's ready to go.
Okay.
Yeah, then if it's ready to go, then you can move it there. So let's have that. Let's put that constraint there.
And please, you made mention of a sandbox or something. Honestly, that place wasn't clear to me. Can you please take me through that process again?
Yeah, sure. I can do that quickly. So now we're going to send you a link to this. I cannot highlight because we're going to send you links to these pages. Okay, and it's going to be a talk page because we need a project page for our bots to run on it. So we are going to make use of the talk page. Interestingly, for whatever strange reason, Visual Editor doesn't work with project pages, talk pages of project pages. I don't know why that is true. So you cannot do visual edit, copy here and then paste it here. So what I will do is to go to my sandbox. If I log in, you see the sandbox on the top here. Sandbox allows you to do visual editor. So I see the visual edit here. Then I copy my stuff. Just highlight everything. Then highlight everything. Again, the video will be available after the call. Say it again. Highlight everything. Come to the sandbox. And in the sandbox, you can simply just paste it there. I've just pasted it and it appeared here. Then you publish. So when you publish, now you can go back to the page again. Sorry. Now it's published. Okay. It's published. I just go back to edit source on the same top page, sandbox, because all I'm interested in is the markup. I highlight everything, copy the markup, and I can now go to the project page and do my edit source. As if I'm editing markup, then I just paste it there and I save. Once I save, it renders what I want to see in the same format as the spreadsheet is. Again, you get a lot of help with this later on if you still need it. So don't worry yourself so much about it. The most important thing is trying to understand the data points that you are going to gather.
Okay.
So the contests so 30 days each, 1st to 30th, and today is 30th. Okay. All right. So that is it from my end.
Yeah, sorry to cut in. You said you provide some links to some of the sources. I don't know if I got that right.
So what I wanted to provide was Wikipedia library. There are so many resources that you can find some of this information from that are not available unless you have access to them. Like I use, which one is it? They've changed this page a little bit. But one of them that I use is High Beam, which is an academic taking me to the okay. JSTOR is another one. Okay. JSTOR would have a lot of information about some of these entities, but you need access to JSTOR. You need access to High Beam. You need access to many of the, the online libraries. So with that, I currently have access to JSTOR, and I can give you the password to use. Otherwise, you can also request your own from this page. This page has changed a lot in the last few months. Great, this is it. So these are platforms with resources of all kinds. You just have to register for one of them and they will give you access. So I'll paste the link into the chat and bookmark this, save it somewhere. But otherwise, we are only going to give you letters to go to the libraries, which you can go to the, if they agree that we can come to the Parliament library, Otherwise, the library at the Ghana School of Law is another great resource, and then BAM Library is another great resource you can use.
Hello, sorry, hello, Martin. Sorry for the distraction. Please drop the links to the Excel so that people can have it later. Sometimes here, when you get off and come back, you don't get the chat.
Okay, so I guess the link to the Wikipedia library can be added to the contract or the guide, if the guide is still very relevant. Yeah, we can add it to the guide. So Zita would probably add the link to the Wikipedia library on the guide that you get. Mm-hmm.
Olawale, we can hear you. Please go on.
Yeah. I want to ask that on the spreadsheet, after filling some column, so you need to continue the next day. Do you need to save it or you leave it like that? You meet it back the next day.
Okay, that's a good question, because not everyone is familiar with Google spreadsheet. You know, some of us take it for granted that we have internet all the time, so you can just. But that's a good question. So this works. This works with internet, I should say. And once you enter something, you don't need to save it. It saves automatically. One trick you can use if you don't have access to internet is to make this file available offline. That's the way to do it. Where do you do that? Okay, let's see. Okay, so if you click, so let me go back and do it again. If you click on the sheet, whether it's a sheet or it's a slide or it's a Google Doc, open a Google Doc too, Google Doc or form or whatever. Google allows you to work offline even when you don't have internet. But the way to do it is that you have to click on this sheet home, or if it's a doc, you click on the doc home, or if it's a presentation, you click on the presentation home. Once you are there, you can come here, click on the three dots on the right side, and click on available offline. It means it's saving a copy offline. You won't see where the copy is, but once you just turn on, boot up your computer, go to your browser, get this link. Once you go there and you're offline, you will still see the same data that was there previously. Now, when you make any edits offline, okay, you make any edits offline. The next time you go online, it's going to be updated. So yes, you can work offline with Google Sheets. If you still really don't want to work with Google Sheets, well, you have to at the end, but you could also get a template and use your Excel, work with it, and once you are done, you upload your Excel and you convert it to Google Docs. In case you are worrying, but you know, these things don't consume internet at all. If that is something that bothers you. Oops, 6 o'clock. Any more questions?
Yes, I have another question
Okay.
about the references. Are we going to reference all the party or only the date of birth?
What do you guys think? Should everything be referenced?
No, not everything should be referenced, but you need to provide at least 3 references for items that do not have articles on Wikipedia or Wikidata.
So 3 references for one of them. Maybe this and that.
If the particular item you are working on has an article on Wikipedia, there's no need to provide references. But if there is no article, then you have to provide at least 3 references.
So we have 3 more minutes. Any more questions?
Hello, Masley.
Yes.
Yeah, so we also have, now we are moving our conversations to Riot. I think it would be very nice if we can add you to the Riot platform. So if they have other questions, maybe you want to address or something, if that is okay for you.
Is it a platform for
so
particular project or?
Yes, the project itself.
Okay, yeah.
So we have the team and the various rule groups that we are, like, we are working together collaboratively. So in case maybe someone wants to ask a question, since you are not on the WhatsApp team, we can just add you to the the private platform. So if there's any other thing that they need clarification from, they can just you can attend to them there.
Yeah, sure. So you can add me to the right room for this particular project. Okay. So just to quick recap. So you are submitting the spreadsheets and then a wiki link containing information on the spreadsheet. That is all that you have to do. And you get the links to both the spreadsheet and then the wiki page in the contract that you are going to be given. And yeah, and the recording is going to be provided also probably in the guide that Zita is preparing, so that you can revisit this. And the links to the Wikipedia library where you can get access to online libraries would also be there. So at the end of the day, I think you are going to get letters that should allow you to go to the Parliament of Ghana library. So I'm sure it's still been worked on. And that is it from my end.
I wanted to confirm if you've been. I think somebody suggested there should be a backend letter from the Wikimedia Foundation. I wanted to know if that has been done or it is still being worked on, or it won't be done.
I don't think I'm the right person to answer that. I'm not sure.
Well, yeah, I think I raised that some time back in our call, and I said Zita could take that on if maybe there is the need. I don't know how we are contacting them at the moment, but if there is a need, sometimes because of this bureaucracy and things, people may want to see a letter from Wikimedia Foundation, and that will probably increase our chances of getting closer to them. So I suggested that. It was a suggestion. I don't know how we can, add that to it. If it doesn't, matter, we can just move ahead and leave it.
Oh, okay.
Mostly, how about your email? Did you get any response on it?
Yeah, they responded that they cannot help us because they also don't have capacity anymore.
Okay.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. So that is it. In case someone is wondering, I believe you get the next line of communication from Zita and Sadiq as to what to do. And my understanding is that you get 33%, or is it 1,000 before you start, and in the middle, if it's going well, another 1,000. Then the last 1,005 is when you complete it.
Yeah.
And just to add that the banking platform we are using is the Access Bank. So if you have an Access Bank, that would be great. Otherwise, the transfer charges you would have to enjoy it, which is I think 10 CD or 5 CD. Because if there's going to be a transfer from Access Bank to another bank, there's a charge there. So if you have an Access Bank account, that would be much better.
Another thing too is that I remember the last time Amuzu was saying he prefers that somebody, puts him on his toes to do the work. Unfortunately, I don't like to chase people to do work. I don't know if any of the leads will also like to chase anybody to do the work. So if you realize that there are some delays or you are giving us excuses, we would have to probably terminate and give the contract to someone else because we are working within timeline and we don't want when we move to the next stage and we're working on something different, we have to go back and deal with gathering of data. So I hope you all bear. I don't know if
Yeah,
anybody.
I think that is very important. As they may be aware, the project runs on monthly basis, and at the end of the month, we are supposed to account or submit a report on how like the progress. So if we have to, have this kind of challenges with the project, it will be very, very worrying. So if you have any challenge that maybe you need someone to address, kindly let us know so that we can see how best we can support you. But we'll be very happy if people can participate fully. I'm not saying like just put everything in, but just make sure you at least live up to the expectations.
All right. So the last thing I don't know if you have anything to add about the timeline, but I think 1 month is a good timeline, unless you want to insist on the 2 weeks, which is it's not my business anymore. But that is it.
I would have to insist on the 2 weeks first. If it doesn't go well, we can extend. But if we make it 1 month for the rest and 2 weeks for the person who's going to be working on the 230, I think that would be unfair because at the end of the day, we are paying everybody the same amount. And some of the parliamentary sittings have more members. The members of the parliament, the fifth parliament has 230, and I think that is the highest. So if the person can deliver within 2 weeks, I don't see why everybody cannot also deliver within the 2 weeks. That is just my opinion for now. I don't know what the rest of the leads think about this.
Okay. So
Hello. Zita. Hello.
Yes, Jemima, we can hear you.
Oh, okay. So you mean every month each one is supposed to work on 230 parliamentaries, right?
No.
So then how many are we supposed to work on for a month?
Every parliamentary sitting, like Sadat said, in your contract, there's going to be a spreadsheet, and in the spreadsheet, the members of that particular parliament you're working on would be in the spreadsheet.
Okay.
So some people might get over 100 people to work on. Others might get 230. Others might get less than that.
Okay.
all right. So I have to go. Maybe you guys need to still stay and talk, but I have to go really. So if there's
Okay,
anything,
thank
just let
you.
me know.
All right, thank you so much, Ms. Lee. At this point, please, if you have any questions, this is now the time to let us hear them and see how we can address concerns. Um, No questions?
I think questions will start when the work begins. So for now, the questions will have to pause.
Well, is that what everybody thinks?
Yeah, I think so. I'm sure. Definitely people encounter
Yeah, it's a
few
challenge that you're gonna
challenges.
face.
So
That will make you ask another question. So it's like if you've not started the work yet, you don't know what you're gonna ask with the work.
But
Okay.
everybody has an idea of what they are supposed to do, right?
Yes. I think
Harriet, you say something.
for from what Sadat shared with that, it's actually clear. And I believe when we start and we encounter any problems, as he said, we could contact him or anybody else to help.
Okay.
Victor, hello. Please,
Yes.
we are recording this whole video, right? Can you share it?
Yeah, sure. I would share it after the call or after we
Okay.
send out the contract.
All right. All right. So
Send it to our emails, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So when will the contract start?
We are all supposed to start on Monday, so probably this weekend that should have we should have sent out all the contracts, and you guys should have probably signed and sent it back to us so that we can all begin on Monday.
Okay.
Now, I don't think that we have 11 people on this call, which shows that you're all interested in the role of a Wikidata and residence. But if there is anybody on the call that doesn't want to play that role, please feel free and just text me or any of the team leads that you're not interested in this role so that we know. Or even you can just say it on the call. No need to feel shy or anything. I think there will be no need to fill a form. I don't know if the other project leads think otherwise. We should still fill forms. Sadiq, sorry, I didn't hear what you said.
Hello?
Yeah, can hear you now.
Yeah, so for the start, I think we suggested that people should have a form where they all register officially. But I don't know if it's still relevant. But I think I've created one and I shared it. But personally, I feel like it doesn't take long to fill a form. But at least we should have a formal way of getting people. But if because of the time frame, if there's no time, we can just, as you suggested, we can just move on and continue with the contract.
Iman and Harriet, do you still think we should fill the form? Because I feel like these are generally the people that are going to be doing the work and we'll be sending out contracts to them. So I don't see the essence of filling the form.
Well, me too.
I think the form is supposed to be to show that people participating. That's all. So I think the form is gonna be cool.
Or we can do both.
okay, I don't really think the form is that necessary at this point.
Because you need the form for data entry. Like you need to collect whatever you're doing. How many people were part? Maybe 10 people, 2 people, 3 people. So everything's gonna be in data, and the form is cool, man.
And
We already know the people participating. These are our team members.
That
also,
information would come from the contract.
also, I think if you are signing a contract, then there is no need for the form. Well, that's my opinion, though.
So from what I'm hearing now, it's like we are going to get three things. We are going to get a form, we are going to get a contract, and then we are going to get a list of what to do. I think a how-to list. And if you are going to sign a contract, it already states that we are engaging with you. So there's no need for the form, unless probably it's just a form, and then we sometimes say it's a contract and the back and forth. So if it's a contract and we are going to sign it, that's okay. It details whatever we are going to get, and then the time period, that's okay with me.
So if there are no more questions, Ima, would you like to demonstrate how you search for information about people that you write articles about on Wikipedia? This demonstration is just to help all of you in your upcoming searches online. So if you think you don't really need this, at this point, you can just leave the meeting and we'll get back to you with the remaining items during the weekend.
Ima, we have to be meeting. What's up? Ima?
Yeah, sorry, Amuzu, I didn't hear you.
I said, I think we have to meet one of these days.
Yeah, sure. We'll
So,
have to.
Ima, you can take it away.
Yeah. Let me share my screen.
Hello. Yeah, Harriet. Harriet, can you hear me?
Yes, Adek, I can.
Yeah. So I think yesterday we tried having a conversation around the social media strategy, but because of the network, I had issues with my network. I don't know if we can just spend after the call has been like if they stop recording, we can just take some 5 minutes to address things. I've seen your document, and I'll send something shortly. If we
Okay.
can stay, I think it's even a better time because Patience is here. I don't know if we have other team member here, so we can just have a quick conversation before.
Okay, that's okay with me.
Okay, cool. Is Nadine in the team or outreach?
I know of Khadija,
Ah, okay,
Mustafa, and
okay, okay. All
yeah.
right. Okay, so when Zita stops recording, we can just proceed, like some few minutes to wrap up things.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to proceed with the data searching. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay, so I'm going to search on Google for the list of parliamentarians, list of MPs, the parliament. Of Ghana. Okay, so I got the Wikipedia page for the 2016 elections. That's the seventh Parliament of the Fourth Republic. I'm going to use an example from the Fifth Parliament because we've worked on the Sixth and the Seventh already. So you can get that link here. If you open any Parliament page, any Ghanaian Parliament page, there are links for each sitting from 1951 to date. So I'll be using the fifth parliament, which was the 2008 elections. So these are this is a list for the parliamentarians. So these are all the parliamentarians for the sitting. They've been categorized into regions. So Ashanti, 39 seats, as you can see, and then Branga for 24 seats. It's quite easy to navigate from this table of contents. We are probably looking for somebody in the voter region. You just click here and it takes you straight to the voter region. Or you're looking for somebody in the eastern region, you just click on the eastern region and you go straight to it. So from here, I'll just try an example here. Richard Okukwedia. So we want to find information on Richard. First of all, we want to be sure if Richard is really on Wikipedia or not. The fact that it isn't a blue link here doesn't necessarily mean Richard doesn't have a Wikipedia page. So we could try searching on Wikipedia if Richard has a Wikipedia page here. So I just copied the name. So I'm pasting it here. And click on search. So we don't have any name, any page with the name. We could just try Richard, just Richard Adia, just in case it exists with a different name. There are no names here. One thing about searching for names on Wikipedia is if the name doesn't have, if there is no Wikipedia page for the name, you find other suggestions with the name in other pages. So can just keep this information in mind. So we've exhausted the option of Richard. We could try Ari Adia just in case. So now we are quite sure there is no Richard here on Wikipedia. So we go back to the list. You could just highlight the name and then Google search. So these are a list of pages on Google where you could find Richard. Fortunately, we have Ghana MPs with information on Richard here. So you could find a notepad. I usually use Word. So you could just find Word here. So you open a blank page for Word. You could minimize it. And then what you do is you copy the link here. This page has his hometown, date of birth, marital status, and also you could just categorize it as his biography. So this is how I gather information. So Richard Okuoku Adia. And then I could just add the link here. And then just to be sure of what I found on the internet, I could just label this link. I'll put a dash here and then I'll type bio or biography because it has quite a lot of information on Richard. So I think bio will be okay. So there's another page here where we could find information on Richard. He was CEO of PBC. So if we open this page and you read here, it tells us about him, where he has been appointment as CEO of PBC Limited, where he has worked, Gehawk. So we have his career here. In fact, we have his school educational background also here. So his personal life, marriage and children. So we could use this information as well. We could also, so we copy this link, we go to the Word document, and then we paste the link here. This link also has quite some information, so we could put bio here as well. You minimize it. When you get about 2 links with quite some information on it, I don't really think you should go further, but maybe, especially if you're writing, publishing an article about him on Wikipedia, you probably need a few more references. So maybe we could use this one as well. So this one contains information about him. Ex-MPP MP files to pursue election petition case. Okay, so this information here, I'm not quite clear, but if you open it, you are supposed to read what information is here, so you know what is going on. It seems to me he probably lost elections in December 2012. Yeah, I think he lost. Yeah, he lost here narrowly to his NDC opponent, and he has decided to instigate legal actions. So he wants to send the matter to court. So there's also information you could use when you are done reading the entire article and you get the information that you need about him. You could paste it here as well. And then here you could add the information you got from the link. So probably lost 2012 elections and sent case to court. So these are just to help you know exactly what is the link that you actually copied. So so far I think 3 links are okay for this person so far. So you could just
Hello, Emmanuel. Sorry for the interruption.
no problem.
We were supposed to talk for some few minutes. I'm going to pay now. I don't know if Harriet is still on, so we can just drop and then do that on WhatsApp or something. I'm going to the mocks now, and I wanted to. I don't know
Okay,
if Harriet is
so
still available, so we can just drop and then do a
okay, sure.
WhatsApp call. Harriet, are you still up for the call?
Yeah.
Okay, so we can do it on WhatsApp. I think Nana Yah left.
Yeah.
Okay, so okay, bye.
Okay.
Thank you
Okay.
very much, Imam. At this point, if you have any questions, please feel free to voice them out so that we can address them or try to.
Ima,
Yeah,
Ima,
Jemima.
please kindly show me how to copy the link to the web page, okay?
Okay, sure. So this is GhanaMPs.com. Okay,
Mm,
so you right click this one. like this. You get the options here, and then you click on copy,
Okay.
and then you come here, and then you right click, and then this one. Have you seen the icon?
Yeah.
Yeah. Or you could just, Control and V. I think that's quite easier. I don't know whether you got me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you okay now?
So you right click on the GhanaMPs.com, then you come back to the web page and then
Yeah, when you right click and then you copy, you click on the copy.
Yeah. Okay. Then you come back to the web page and paste.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Oh, come. Any questions? Okay, Zita, I'll hand over to you. There are no questions.
Okay, great. So I guess we can call it a night. Thank you all so much for joining the call, and you'll be hearing from us during the weekend. I hope that you can respond to our emails as quickly as possible so that we can wrap up things and begin work on Monday. Having said that, if there's nothing more to say from any of you, I would like to call this meeting to an end. Take care of yourselves, and um, till we meet again. Bye bye.
Don't forget to share the video, the recording.
Sure.
All right. Thank you.
Enjoy the rest of your evening. Bye.
Okay, you too. Bye. Bye, everybody.